Opposites attract. Lila March was meticulous, punctual, and allergic to chaos. Her life revolved around spreadsheets, color-coded calendars, and a carefully curated Instagram feed. She worked as a financial analyst in a bustling city firm, where coffee came black, schedules were sacred, and surprises were strictly discouraged. Then there was Max Rivera. Max was a professional musician with a penchant for late-night taco runs, impromptu street performances, and buying things he didn't need just because they looked fun. He lived for spontaneity, adventure, and the occasional disaster that could be called a story later. They met on a Monday, the worst possible day for Lila, who had already spilled her meticulously prepared latte all over her crisp white blouse. Max, strumming a guitar at the street corner outside her office, stopped mid-song. "Whoa, you're, having a rough morning. I could say the same about you," she snapped, tugging at the wet fabric of her blouse. But Max grinned, tilting his head like her disapproval was the most interesting thing he'd seen all week. "I have a theory," he said, "that every disaster is just the universe's way of introducing you to someone. Today, apparently, that someone is me." Over the next few weeks, their lives collided in increasingly ridiculous ways. Max showed up at Lila's office to deliver a replacement coffee, spilling it on her desk anyway. Lila found herself reluctantly attending one of Max's impromptu rooftop concerts, dressed in a pencil skirt and heels, trying not to trip over chords and instruments. They argued, laughed, and occasionally glared at each other over mismatched lunch orders. Max loved that Lila had a plan for everything, even if it bored him. Lila was drawn to Max's reckless charm, even if it frustrated her to no end. Then came the weekend camping trip, Max's idea, of course. Lila, armed with color-coded tent instructions and a pre-packed list of emergency snacks, was sure she'd hate it. She didn't. Not entirely. Especially when Max, in his usual chaotic way, set up a tiny campfire for just the two of them and pulled out a guitar, singing a song he swore he made up on the spot. By the time the stars came out, Lila realized she'd been holding her breath all evening, and now, finally, she could exhale. Max leaned close, brushing a strand of hair from her face, and whispered, "You know, I think you might actually like chaos, if it's me causing it." Lila laughed, rolling her eyes but unable to hide the smile tugging at her lips. "And I think I might like you, even if you're completely impossible." Under a blanket of stars, the meticulous girl and the carefree musician discovered that opposites didn't just attract. Sometimes, they fit perfectly together, even if it was a little messy, unpredictable, and entirely unforgettable.